Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel, It's a Horse Thing. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kara. If you're back, so glad to see you again. Today we are going to be rating your repaints in this video. So as always, I asked you guys for your submissions, so you guys could email me or tag me in a community post with the following information of your YouTube the materials you used, and the horse you used. And I will be going through your repaint today and giving you guys a score based off of realism and giving you guys tips for what I think you could improve on if there is anything. Again, by submitting, I hope everyone is okay with the fact that I am going to be rating these. I'm not going to be harsh, however, I am going to be critiquing these, so just be ready that I will more than likely have something to try and help you improve for future repaints. So please don't be offended. Now let's go ahead and get into the video. So first up, we have PRS Studios official. They use the Safari LTD Tennessee Walker Mare with acrylics and pastels. So first up, creativity, yes. Effort, yes. Eyes. These are absolutely gorgeous, y'all. Look at those. Look at those. Oh my goodness. I have nothing to say. They look very, very nice. They have a decent amount of white in them. The color is very pretty. The shine is amazing. Definitely a check there. The hooves. Yes, we love when hooves are not solid colors and they have the stripes and the, oh shoot, what do you call them? Horseshoes. Totally just forgot my word there. Absolutely gorgeous. Love them. Shading, also giving you a check. The leg shading is beautiful. You can also see it here and here, and definitely on the face. This is a roan. I know this is Astrid. And then down the back as well. The mane and tail is super pretty too. I can't tell if actually never mind. I can tell because you have brown here and then you have more like black, darker colors in here. Plus you have the white here. So definitely check there. Coat color, beautiful for a blue roan. I totally skipped markings. I don't know how I did that, but I checked them off by accident. These are very, very pretty. I love that they, oh my goodness, y'all, look at the herring details in that. Love that it is not a straight line. Very, very realistic, especially the star on the forehead. Super amazing, super cute. Realism, yes, of course. Plus, I just wanted to point out the snip. And bonus details. Okay, hold up. I can't tell if that's one or not. Actually, I'm going to pull up the email, because some of you guys will tell me whether or not you added chestnuts in there, so I'm going to check and see if you did. Yes, she does indeed have chestnuts. Okay, there we go. So there is a check for chestnuts. I just had to check and make sure, because you guys did email me if there was chestnuts and you can't visibly see them. Overall, your score is a 10 out of 10. Astrid, super beautiful, wonderful job, PRS. Next up, we have the Doggy equestrian. They use the Brier Classic Coppery Chestnut Mare with acrylics and pastels as well. So, of course, as always, creativity, yes. Effort, yes. The eyes, y'all are improving, man. A lot of you guys have submitted multiple times and definitely getting better. It is a little hard to see because of the glare, but you can see the white and then the black, and I think there is some brown color in there as well. So I'm going to give you a check there. The hooves, okay, hold up. Actually, I will give you a check on this because the hooves are mismatched. I was going to say I can't tell if that's gray and then a lighter brown on top, but the hooves are multiple colors, so I'm going to go ahead and give you a check there. Shading, I'm also going to give you a check. The pastels are a tiny bit grainy, however, that is just something that comes with experience. The more you use pastels, the better they will get and the less grainy they will be. However, you do definitely have the shading, especially the leg shading is so pretty. There is shading here. However, if you are going to do brown shading, I would recommend it not being quite as pink and adding a little bit more brown in there. And then, of course, the face shading is gorgeous because I think you use the same pink that you used on the muzzle up here on the legs. So I would try and make sure that the legs were a little bit more brown. The markings are very, very good as well. They are very fluffy and you can see some paint strokes. So what I do recommend for the paint strokes issue is try and water down your paint like a lot more than you think you need. The first layer, I might make it a little bit thicker just because I know if you water it down too much, the paint reacts weird to sealer. But after the first layer, go ahead and try and water it down. That way it stays more smooth. However, the herring details are very, very pretty. I do recommend using a fan brush if you can get your hands on one of those. The mane and tail, also going to give you a check. We got some brown shading up here and some white shading here and some black, I don't know why I'm saying shading. Mane there, very, very pretty. And it looks like the same on the tail from what I can see. The coat color is very pretty. Realism, yes. And then, wait, I gotta check Doggy Equestrian too. I'm not seeing any chestnuts. You know, I have no idea. So I can't give you a check there because I can't tell, and from what I see, I don't see them, and I can't find an email or a submission on YouTube, so I don't know if you mentioned that you did. So therefore, I can't give you a point there. However, your overall score is a 9 out of 10. Doggy Equestrian, amazing job. Next up, we have a submission from Taay Wild Horse Islands. They use the model, the Brier, Fleabit, and Thoroughbred. This is a classic scale, and they also used acrylics, pastels, and an eraser. So, of course, creativity, yes, and effort, yes. The eyes, oh my goodness, are so cute. This model in general is so pretty. Plus, like I said, just absolutely gorgeous. I do think if you could, I can't tell, you could try and have the white back here, and then try and have the white here, and then like add some brown, and then add in black kind of like that, and that would work very well as well. And that is also a great way to do eyes, but I mean, I'm giving you a check anyway. Hooves look very good. I can see brown and I can see some gray, so they are two-toned, very beautiful, and they look very realistic, so that's always a plus. Shading is so pretty, y'all. Look at the leg shading here, and then look at the shading on the neck and the face and down the back and the belly. Oh, so beautiful. And can we appreciate these dapples? Because dapples are hard, y'all, and this was an amazing dapple. Markings, you do have some markings which look very good, very similar to PRS with the herring details on the socks. Are those considered socks? I think those are still considered socks. Especially here, y'all. Very, very pretty. Very beautiful. Mane and tail. So it is hard to see on this model specifically. However, I could be wrong, but I think I see some brown here and some brown here, and then black in that area. So I think I'm going to give you a check there, because from what I can see, that looks good, and then I can't really see down here because your finger is covering a Taay. But overall, looks pretty nice. Coat color, gorgeous. Realism, yes. And then I do actually see chestnuts this time. I see a chestnut there, and I see a chestnut there. And it looks like you did actually paint them, because I know that Brier usually have chestnuts on them. So it does look like you went over it, so check there. Overall, Taay, your score is a 10 out of 10. Beautiful job. Next, we have Bu Thomas, that's how I'm going to say it anyway, and they use the Schleich German pony with acrylics and pastels. Y'all, if I say your name wrong, I am so sorry. I don't know how to pronounce names. Anyway, creativity, yes, and effort, yes, as always. The eyes are very, very nice. However, I would say probably the same thing as I told Taay. If you wanted to have some white back here, and then like a brown color through here, and then black through here, that would even help a little bit more to have some color through it. However, they do still look pretty good, so I'm going to give you a check there. Hooves look good. I can't tell if you did use two colors, but I do see horseshoes, so I will give you a half point on those, because I think they are solid, but you did add horseshoes, so that is what giving you the extra point up there. The shading is also very pretty, so I'm going to give you a check. The muzzle is very nice. You did shade the eyes and then the legs as well. And then it looks like you did do some on the body, but it is a little hard to tell. From what I can tell, there aren't any markings unless these are supposed to be markings. So I'll count them and give you a check. But I don't know if I can actually classify those as marking, because I don't think they are. I think it's just shading, but I could be wrong. Mane and tail, let's check. Okay, it could just be the lighting. but I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say that you added some color in through here. But like I said, it could just be the lighting. I don't know. That'll be up for you to decide. But I will give you a check because it's hard for me to tell because I also gave the benefit of the doubt to Taay as well. So I'll just go ahead and say that you did. Coat color, beautiful. Realism, yes. And then, no, I don't see any chestnuts because they would have been like right there. And that would be the only place we can see them. However, thank you so much for your submission. Your overall score is a 8.5 out of 10. Wonderful job. Next up, we have Schleich Horses for Life. They use the Schleich Tricana. It's either stallion or gelding, I don't remember which. It just wouldn't fit on the line, so I couldn't add it. And then they used acrylics, pastels, and spray. I think pretty much everyone used sealer. It was just whether or not I could fit it in the line. Creativity, yes. Effort, yes. The eyes also look good from what I can see. You do have the white, and then I think I do see some color and then some black. So I'm going to give you a check there. Then the hooves. Oh, never mind. I take that back. You do have striping on the hooves, which is very pretty, and they are different from those. Plus, you have horseshoes. So check there. Very pretty. Shading, very nice. It is very, very smooth with the pastel. You have the leg shading and then the body shading as well as the muzzle shading. Really, really nice work. Very well done. The markings. Okay, y'all. Let's all just admit, Appaloosas are hard. They are hard to do. They are very difficult. However, I am going to give you a check, and they do look really good for being an Appaloosa. I remember getting this submission and being like, wow, they did really, really nice on this. Because this is pretty realistic to what an Appaloosa would look like, and then these are just like chef's kiss. Very beautiful. The mane and tail, however, do look solid, so I would try adding in some highlights and lowlights, so maybe like a lighter brown, sort of like the body color. And then, of course, you can have the black as lowlights. So I am going to give you a half point. Coat color, very pretty. Realism, yes. And then I don't see any chestnuts because they would have been up here and down here. So thank you so much for your submission. Your overall score is an 8.5 out of 10. Amazing job. Very, very pretty Appaloosa. Next up, we have a submission from I Love Horses 5970. They use the Schleich Tennessee Walker Mare, I believe, and they used acrylics, pastels, and eraser. So, creativity, yes. Effort, yes. Eyes also look very good. It does look like you have some white here, and then, of course, the color in the black. The only thing I would say is maybe make the black a little bit more like this, so there isn't quite as much color, so pretty much make the pupil a little bit bigger, because usually you don't see quite as much color in a horse's eye. I am giving you a check. The hooves check as well. You do have horseshoes, and then they are multiple colors, plus you do have some dark brown here and some lighter brown up here, which I love to see. Shading, beautiful. Again, we got some dapples in here. The leg shading is very pretty. The face shading is very nice. Same with the neck and then down the body. Love it. Markings look very, very good. They do look super smooth, very, very transparent, and they are not a straight line. They are pretty jagged, which is very, very nice. The mane and tail, I am going to give you a full point. However, again, I do think you could add some highlights and lowlights, so maybe add in some like color of the body within it, and then the lowlights could be the black. Again, you don't have to add a ton, since dark brown horses do usually have like black as their mane and tail. Just add in a little bit so it's not as flat and it gives it a little bit more dimension. The coat color, beautiful. Realism, yes. And then chestnuts, from what I can tell, those are two peculiar places for them to be markings, and that's where chestnuts are. So I'm going to give you a check. However, I would probably make them maybe a little bit more tan. So thank you so much for your submission. Your overall score is a 10 out of 10. Wonderful job. Next up, we have Model Horse Crafts 2110. They use the Schleich Tournament Mare with epoxy, acrylics, and pastels. So I'm not entirely sure where epoxy came into play, unless it is the halter. No, the halter is separated. I'm not sure then, but creativity, yes. Effort, yes. The eyes are pretty good. I probably wouldn't leave the black outline, though. Actually, maybe I would. Maybe I make the black outline that's back here, you know, a little bit thinner, so it's not quite as bold of a line, and then make the pupil, this black part right here, a little bit bigger. But you do have white in the back as well, which is very, very nice. Did not mean to draw that line there. The hooves are very nice. Oh, I do see stripes. I do see stripes. I would try and blend that in a little bit more. That way it's not just a direct stripe. Maybe fade it in a little so it's a little bit more like this into the other color, and then like blend in between it. But I am going to give you a check. Shading, I'm also going to give you a check. However, I would probably add some shading up here along the back. You usually don't see as much shading in here, surprisingly. Usually those are more lighter colors, but again, depending on your reference, maybe it is. And then you do have shading down here and on the face as well. Markings, I don't see any markings, so I'm going to change this to a 9. Your mane and tail, I am going to give you a check. I would try and smooth this out a tiny bit more so it's not so gray and then black. Pretend that's gray. Instead, like I said, mix it in a little bit more. However, do love that we have the highlights on there. The coat color, very pretty. Realism, yes. And then bonus details, I do see chestnuts, so check there. So thank you so much for your submission. Your overall score is an 8.5 out of 9. Next up, we have a submission from Liv T. They use the Brier Saddlebred Stablemate. So y'all, stablemates are tiny, super small. Then they also use acrylics and gloss. So of course, creativity, yes. Effort, yes. The eyes look absolutely amazing, so check there. Hooves, love the horseshoes, and you do have some darker gray in there with some lighter gray. Very beautiful. Shading, of course, very, very smooth with the leg shading and the face shading. This is also a blue roan, so very pretty. There are no markings, so again, I'm going to change that to a 9. Mane and tail, it looks like a solid color, so I am going to have to give you a half point there. Again, highlights and lowlights would be wonderful. If you have it, you know, just comment and let me know. However, from what I can tell from the photo, I don't see any. The coat color, beautiful blue roan. Realism, of course. And bonus details. Y'all are killing me with the chestnuts. Yes, I'm erasing and try and look for it. I don't see any because it would have been up here and down here. So overall, your score is a 7.5 out of 9. I'm telling y'all, those chestnuts, I might take bonus details, like chestnuts off, because I feel like those bring so many people down. I don't know. So thank you so much for your submission. This is a beautiful, beautiful blue roan. Next up, we have That Brier Girl 03. They use the 2009 Clydesdale Full. Pretty sure this is Schleich. And they also used acrylics and pastels. So creativity, yes. Effort, yes. Eyes are very, very nice. I do really like the proportions here with a little bit of white with more black to it. However, like I said, I would probably add in a little bit of color in the back just to add a little bit something else to it. But I am going to give you a check. The hooves are more than one color. However, again, I would probably try and blend the darker gray in with the lighter gray a little bit more. So I will give you a check there. Shading, I love the leg shading. However, I do wish we saw a little bit more shading through here. And then we do have some muzzle shading and then a little bit of shading on the eyes and the ears. Markings. Only thing I would probably say is try and make sure that this is very transparent and that you don't get any pastel on it, because I've definitely done that before. And I can't tell, there might be some gray pastel on it depending on when you did the markings. And again, just make sure it is very transparent. However, I do like that it is not a solid line. So I'll give you a half point there. The mane and tail are solid, so I am going to give you a half point there as well. Again, you could add some highlights and lowlights, like maybe some lighter gray and some darker gray within the black to just add a little bit more dimension to it. The coat color is very pretty. Realism, yes, and then I don't see any chestnuts. So thank you so much for your submission. Your overall score is an 8 out of 10. This foal is super cute. I love this. Next up, we have at Serenity Saddlery. They use the Schleich Tinker Mare. I really want this horse, by the way. And then they also used acrylic pastel and sealant. Ignore the second comma there. That's not there. Of course, creativity, yes. Effort, yes. The eyes do look very good. Look at those beautiful blue eyes. We have some white in the back and some color, and then some black. Check, of course. Hooves. Okay, it does look like we have some darker brown and some lighter browns. I'll give you a check. Again, same thing. I would probably try and, unless they're stripes, even though with stripes you do want to blend it a little bit, but I would probably try and blend it a little bit more, just so it's not just such a patch of different color browns. Shading. I don't actually see any shading from what I can tell, because I probably would have seen it up here and through here, and it would have been a darker color. However, I don't see any. But let me know if you did add it. But I personally can't see any from this photo. Then the markings, check always. Definitely not a straight line. Very, very pretty, opaque, and they're smooth. Smooth markings is key to success, and it is really difficult to do. It just comes with time. I do recommend Joe Sonja white acrylic paint. The mane and tail, very pretty. Look at these highlights and lowlights, y'all. Very nice, especially with the white. The only thing, of course, you're going to get a check because it's beautiful, but the only thing I would say is maybe add in, like, just a random streak through here and then a random streak through here, just on, like, one of these pieces, so it's not a huge block at once, and it kind of fades into each other a little bit. But that is very gorgeous. Coat color, very pretty. Realism, yes. And then I don't see any chestnuts. So thank you so much for your submission. Your overall score is an 8 out of 10. Beautiful horse. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, make sure you click that subscribe button down below and that like button if you have not. That way I know you guys enjoy this kind of video and like to see more of it. Make sure you turn that bell notification on if you have not either. That way you are notified every time I post a new video. As always, y'all, remember to be kind, be smart, and stay safe. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next video or the next live stream, whichever one comes first. Goodbye, everybody.